So then, we're back. It is Prediction Wars Part 2, Match Day 2, and we've got our second guest who's waiting to come in to the Prediction Wars chair. Let's go and meet him right now.
Right then, we've got our second contestant in the Prediction Wars, and he's in the hot chair. Well, he's not, he's in his garage, but
I'm in my garage.
you're in your garage. How you doing, mate? It's been a long time since you've been on the videos.
I'm doing good. Last time I was on the channel was that brilliant day down at Wembley. So
Yes.
I'm happy to be back on.
Great to have you back. Let's just dive straight into the match day two. We were talking before we start recording. You watched the match day one and you thought our match day one predictions were rather questionable.
Yeah, and looking at the results, I stand by what I say.
What do we know about football, mate? But hopefully you'll actually do better.
Oh,
than
exactly.
me.
I'm fully expecting to get every single one wrong.
Oh, if you get the points, mate. So before I dive in and we'll do our predictions. So if you get the right team to win, you get 2 points. And if you get the correct result as well with it, you get an extra point. So you get 3. But given it with the England as well, we'll give you a bonus point if you can get the first goal scorer of who you think is going to score the first goal. So let's just dive into it then. The first one is going to be Croatia against Albania.
So for me, with the Croatia Spain game from Saturday night, I actually don't think Croatia played all that badly, and I don't think Albania played all that badly against Italy. I think it was a bit of a shock when they went 1-0 up, but I think for me with this one, Croatia should be fairly comfortable for them. And if I was to make a prediction, I would say probably 3-0 to Croatia.
So, well, I do think they'll concede, but I do think they will win. I do think they'll need to. I think they will still go through in the group because I think it's going to be tough for them. But yeah, I think Albania, they're one of those sides. I think, as I said, I did have them to draw in the opening game, but that didn't go so well. So, but I'm going to go for a Croatia win, 2-1. So, but I think you'll probably get that one over me. But there we go.
You never know.
You never know. You never know. So the next one in the group, Germany against Hungary. So that's the other game.
Yeah, Germany were impressive on Friday night, and I know they were playing Scotland, which they were really, really poor. But you look at that Germany side now, like for the last 2 or 3 major tournaments, people have been saying they're an Asian squad, and they have been an Asian squad. But you look at you've got players like Florian Wirtz, Musiala, Kai Havertz probably had one of the best seasons he's had at Arsenal this season. So yeah, I think Germany will continue to kick on. I don't think they'll win the tournament, but I think they'll go pretty deep. I wouldn't be surprised if we got to the semi-finals or even the final. So I'm going with 3-1 to Germany on this one.
Do you know what? I thought you were going to say 3-0 because I do think Germany will win 3-0. I think you're right. I think Germany have always been there or thereabouts in terms of going deep in major tournaments. And we'll at the end of this we'll get your winner of who's going to win the Euros. So this one's going to be interesting. But yeah, I think you're right. I think Scotland were pretty poor in the first game. Unfortunately, having Scotland in my sweepstake doesn't help. But yeah, Germany looks pretty good. I don't know whether it was a mix of Germany being very good and Scotland just being really, really poor.
Yeah, Scotland were poor. Like they just completely folded when they went 1-0 down, and Germany just schooled them essentially, and they're completely ahead Scotland. That red card as well didn't help. But
what annoyed me, certainly in that game, is why didn't you start Laurie Shanklin? Because you've got a guy who scores 31 goals for Hearts, albeit the Scottish League is, people aren't going to say it's a good league, but a person who scores 31 goals, he's going to be confident over Shea Adams. And I think Shanklin would have given something a bit more than what Shea Adams did.
I would agree. I would agree with that.
Fantastic. So speaking of Scotland, then they've got a massive game against Switzerland. Go on. What do you think?
I know I've just been slagging off Scotland there, but I genuinely think Scotland bounced back.
Really?
I think they've got that first game out of the way. Like there would have been so much pressure on them for that first game. I know it's against Germany, so it was always going to be tough. I don't think anybody really expected them to win, but like just the occasion of it, the first game of the Euros, all the eyes were on them. They would have. I just don't think they coped with that much attention, but I think they'll bounce back, and I do think they beat Switzerland. I think Switzerland's one of the best teams that could probably look to be playing, because I think you touched on it on the last video. They're so inconsistent, Switzerland. You never really know what you're going to get with them. So I think Scotland win this 2-1.
2-1. I'm going to go.
In the last minute.
Oh, well, I've got a bit of a soft spot for Hearts. I really do. But, Switzerland, I think they'll carry on. I think, they earned a good win in the first group game. And, Hungary are no mugs. They're a good side. But I just think Switzerland are going to continue. I do think Switzerland will finish second in the group. Given that, the last tournament they did, they got to the quarterfinals. They knocked out France. And so, for me, again, you're right. I think that they're a team that on the day can be they're one of like 3 or 4 teams that could be on the day. They can upset the odds. But I do think Switzerland will win. I think Scotland lose, they're out effectively. So I'm gonna go 2-0 to Switzerland. Yeah. So yeah. Yes. So moving on then to England's group, and the first one we're going to be doing Slovenia, against Serbia. Both teams sort of contrasting match day 1 results.
Yeah, I didn't catch all of the Denmark-Slovenia game. I catch the end of it, like the last sort of 15-20 minutes, and Slovenia were looking good. Serbia against England last night, although they gave us a bit of a scare in the second half, I don't think they were that impressive, to be honest. I don't know. I can't see Serbia getting out of the groups, to be honest. I wasn't that impressed with them at all. So for this one, I think Slovenia win 2-0, and I think Benjamin Sesko is the difference.
Yeah, you see, he's a good player. I do highly rate him a lot. I do think this is a game that I do think Serbia could bounce back on, but I do see where he could. Because Slovenia, we know, they've given England good games down the years, so
yeah,
I do think it will be a close game. But I do think, when you've got Vladic and you've got Mitrovic, who, quality players, the likes of Dusan Tadic who could come on as well.
Yeah,
you still got Kostic. Some real talent for Serbia. And what frustrates me with Serbia is that, they just, I don't know, and, watching the game last night, yes, they had a couple of chances, but you're right, and we'll get on to England in a sec, but you're right, I'm a little bit unsure with them in the minute. They could still be, they could still turn it around and go through, but I don't know, they're a bit of a shock, but I'm going to go close one. I'm going to go 2-1 to Serbia, and I think Mitrovic will get the winner in that game.
I wouldn't be surprised, but like his goal scoring record speaks for itself. I loved him when he was at Newcastle. I don't think he really got the chance under Rafa Benitez. I don't think he was that big of a fan of him, but if anyone's going to be a difference, it could be him. But Sesko, for me, with Slovenia, the end of the season he had at RB Leipzig, I just think he's the man at the moment.
You think he'll move to the Premier League?
Not next season. I think he has one more year in Germany, and then season after that.
We'll see indeed. So we'll move on to the game then. Denmark against England. It's one of those sometimes when you go with with the prediction wars that we've done, you can try and rule with your heart rather than your head. But I mean, they won England, but I don't know. People going, we can grow into the tournament, but was there anything that you said that you seen from that game that gave you something to believe about?
I genuinely do think we will get better. Obviously, last night it wasn't the most convincing. Phil Foden, for me, he's wasted out on the left. Harry Kane, obviously, he's England's best striker, but is he 100% fit? He missed the last few games of the season for Bayern. He wasn't really getting involved at all until a little bit in the second half. The defence is always a worry. I know they kept a clean sheet last night, but when you're coming up against the better teams, when you get to the knockouts, your France's, your Spain's, your Germany's, like Kieran Trippier at left back, an inexperienced Mark Gahey at John Stones, who's played 290 minutes since March. So I do think they'll get better. I don't think they'll win the tournament, but I think they will get better, and I'm going to go with you 2-0 to England on this one.
I'm going to go 2-1. I just think, Denmark, last, in the semi-final when we played them, they were brilliant. I thought they were absolutely superb. And, doesn't matter. We got the penalty. We scored from it. Maybe one or two question marks about it. But
yeah,
I do, you're right. I do think England will get better. I know people say, we beat Serbia 1-0. We should be having them 3 and 4. I don't think we should. I think you're right. I think there was two contrasting sides of England on in that first match. I do think, that first 10, 15 minutes, I thought they were brilliant.
yeah.
And then after that, they kind of just sat deep, and it became a bit of a typical Southgate performance where, they've got the goal and then they've just sat back, and exactly. And people brought him out Gay's performance, and to be honest, I thought he were absolutely brilliant.
He was immense last night. Just hopefully he can keep it up. I would have had Branthwaite in the squad, but that's conversation for a different day, I suppose.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you touched on Phil Foden because, albeit he has played on that left-hand side before for City, and albeit, he's got different players around him, but is it more of a point where it's gone back to the old England where we're trying to put square pegs in round holes rather than actually picking players that should be in those right positions?
Yeah. No, I agree with Foden. I mean, he's obviously been quality for Man City this season. I don't know, just on that left hand side, with Foden, he's not a player that's gonna sort of go down the wing and beat a man and put a cross in. He's left. I think he's left-footed, so it's ideal for him on the left. But he's not going to do that. He's always going to come in and try and link up the play that way. So I think we just need somebody on the left who's going to be more direct and take on the full-backs and get the balls into the box that way. A bit like what Saka was doing last night.
Yeah. So for your extra points, if you do get it, so you're saying it's going to be 2-0 to England. Who's going to be first goal scorer then?
I'm going to say Declan Rice,
who
I thought was incredible last night.
Yeah.
The way he was breaking up the play. What a player. So yeah, Declan Rice.
Declan Rice. Tough one because it'll be interesting to see how he. I mean, I think he'll be unchanged. I can't see him dropping Trent or dropping Saka or Foden. I'm going to say. Do you know what? I'm going to say Saka for the first goal scorer.
Saka.
Yeah. Right then. I think probably one of the standout games for me in match day 2, Spain against Italy. I think this one's going to be absolutely brilliant.
It should be. There's a couple of really good standout ties in the second group games. This one for me is one of them. Should I tell you my prediction for the Euros winner now?
Go on, then.
I think Spain's going to win it. Most people will say France, most people will say Germany. I think that's boring. They might be right. But I don't know, I've just got a good feeling about Spain. I know they've been really inconsistent, the golden generations behind them. But I don't know, I just think Spain are going to come good. And the one thing that Spain's lacked probably since Torres was playing is a good striker. And Morata's been their number 9 for a while, but he's had his best goal scoring season for Atletico Madrid. And if he might be that missing piece that they needed, an informed striker. So I'm going to go Spain 3, Italy 2. I think it'll be drama. I think it'll be lots of goals.
You see, this is the one I'm looking forward to the most because I think whoever's going to be in this, in this game, I think, are going to probably, you're right, could be a real dark horse for the tournament. You're right. I think Spain surprised me in the first game how good they were because I did think they coming against Croatia. I thought they'd come undone because Croatia do have the quality, but Italy again surprised me a little bit. I mean, all right, you go 1-0 down inside 30 seconds, and they come back and show some quality. But again, I said in the last video, I said Italy are one of those sides where on the day they could be fantastic, but they could be so bad at the same time. They could be so poor, and we could probably say numerous examples. But again, I just people say this is not the best Italian side for so long, and you're right. You probably are right, but you're right. I think Spain will win. I'm going to go 3-1 with that one.
3-1. Lots of goals again. I mean, I hope Italy win because they're my sweepstake team.
See, I'd rather have Italy than Scotland, mate.
Yeah,
you've done all right with that. I think
everyone on the planet would.
True, yeah, exactly. Right, on to the next one then, which again could be a bit of a tricky one. This one, but Slovakia against Ukraine.
For me, I know there's been lots of goals in the Euros so far. there's probably been one poor game, and that was last night with England. But this, for me, screams 0-0. I think we're going to get our first 0-0 in this game. Don't really know a lot about both sides. Ukraine, I think they just got hammered today off Romania, didn't they?
Yeah.
So, and then Slovakia, yeah, they're not bad sides, but they're not great sides, are they? So yeah, I'm going for a 0-0 ball draw.
Or draw. And to be fair, I think if you were to actually get all these predictions right for a knacker, I think you'd probably do pretty well. I'm probably, yeah, probably. I mean, we don't have the best of luck when it comes to it, but I think Ukraine might just shade this one. I think that, yeah, all right, they've got beat by Romania as we're doing this recording, but I think they might shade it. I think Slovakia, again, not a bad side, but again, I think Ukraine might, if there's going to be a winner, and I really hope there is, rather than 0-0, I think Ukraine might just edge it. But if they are going to win it, I think it'll be a set piece. I can't see it being open play with that one. But I'm going to go 1-0 to Ukraine, last minute winner.
So we're both predicting stinkers for that one.
Yeah,
so that's going to be like 4-3 or something.
Yeah, exactly. It might actually turn out to be the best tie in match day too. You never know. So going on to the next one, then it's again a game that could be a bit of an interesting one. Poland against Austria. Now, at the time we're recording this, Austria haven't played their tie against France yet. So
yeah. So if we get this horribly wrong, then go easy on with. Poland, that's probably one of my favorite games of the tournament so far. Yesterday, Poland and the Netherlands. Poland weren't that impressive. Obviously, we haven't seen Austria yet, but I think yesterday in that game, Netherlands were the better side for all game. I know it only finished 2-1, but even that goal, it was from a set piece against a run of play for Poland. So yeah, we haven't seen Austria yet, but there is a little bit of anticipation with them for this tournament, similar to the sort of hype that Turkey had 3 years ago. So I'm going to go for a 2-1 to Austria on this one.
See, when I look at the games, and I look, Poland, Poland are a good side, and they've always had some quality players. And the fact that Lewandowski is on the bench, and yet we're still not seeing. I mean, he's been injured, I know that, but when he's fit, he's going to be a real handful. And you'd like to hope that he's going to be fit for this game and potentially.
Yeah, I think he is, by the sounds of it. From what we're seeing on commentary, they reckon he's pretty much there. I just don't think they wanted to risk him in that first game. But even if he is fit, I just don't think Poland have the talent in the other areas of the pitch in order to supply Lewandowski with the balls in the box. So
yeah, I think you're spot on with that. They've never been, in terms of defensive wise, they've never been that strong. They've had Glick, for example. He's been a good centre half. You got Matty Cash who's in there. The midfield has been hit and miss. I know they've got Petr Zielinski, who's a good player. I think he's going to Inter Milan in the summer, which I think is a good signing for them. So I think the game will be won and lost with, again, another set piece. But Austria, again, very similar. I think they've got a couple of good players, individual players, but they're never going to gel all together for me. So I'm going to go. And I think there might be some goals, definitely. I'm going to go 2-2. I'm going to go for
2-2.
a draw. Yeah. I think I'm going to play it safe for that one. So we'll see. But anyway, again, on to the second to last fixture then. And again, another one that I think could be a real standout fixture. Netherlands against France.
Yeah, this is probably the one that I'm looking forward to the most out of this second group game fixtures. Netherlands were really, I was impressed with them yesterday against Poland. They play such a really sort of good attacking style of football under Ronald Koeman at the minute. Gakpo was excellent. I know he can be a bit hit-y-missy at times for Liverpool. Depay, he's always a danger. I think he's fourth being Netherlands' top scorer or something like that of all time now. Xavi Simons, another excellently talented young player. I don't think Netherlands win, but I think it'll be a good game. I think they'll test France. I'm going to go 2-2.
Oh, see, you
I
talk
would
about
love to see Netherlands win, by the way. I do think they're really good to watch.
well, the thing is, and you talk about Spain for yourself winning the Euros. Netherlands is my pick to win the Euros because I just think they've got something about them, and you're right with some of the
They've
talent
got
that's
such a
coming
solid
through.
defence as well.
Exactly.
They've got some really good options there.
Considering like Martin de Ligt didn't even play, and
Yeah.
you've got Stefan de Vrij and you've got Virgil van Dijk at centre half. You've got that Ian Martins, he had a great season for Dortmund. You know, you've got Denzel
Aki as
Dumfries.
well. Yeah,
Yeah.
Dumfries.
And the fact that you're
Aki,
missing, yeah, the fact that, you know, Cope Miners, Martin de Roon haven't even gone to the Euros shows the depth of talent. I mean, I said in the last video, I said France, you know, could come unstuck in their first time. I still think they will as the time we're recording this. So we
Yeah.
don't know what the result of that could be.
Probably finish like 5-0 to France, something like that.
Or what I could do is I might insert what the result was actually, so at the bottom of the screen. But you're right. I think this could be, in terms of a game, probably maybe better than the Spain-Italy game. It could be just that depth of quality. But I'm going to go, you know what? I'm going to go 2-1 to the Netherlands. It's
2-1 to the Netherlands. I hope you're right. I'd like to see them go far.
Yeah, I do. I think, you know, they've been they've been a team, they've been a nation. You know, they've only got to one quarter final in the last 10 years. You know, for a team, you know, they've not qualified for a couple of the major tournaments in that last decade, which just seems mad to me. Where you think in 2010 they got to the World Cup final, and if it wasn't for Iniesta's goal, you know, it could have been a different story. But it's like I say, I'm going to be probably really enjoying that one. So to end then on match day 2, to conclude match day 2, is Georgia against the Czech Republic.
What a game to finish on that is. I can't wait for this game. I don't think we haven't seen Czech Republic yet, have we? No, we haven't time of recording. So again, we don't really know what. I don't think Georgia have either, have they? No, so we don't know what to expect with this one. I would expect Czech Republic to win comfortably. Don't know a whole lot about Georgia. I know they have got a couple of recognisable players, but Czech Republic are probably a little bit better. So I'm going to say 3-0 to the Czechs.
3-0 to the Czechs. See, I'm going for a Czech win because, again, you know, they are a good side. I do enjoy watching them. I think they are quality for me. You know, they do have some good players. A bit like Switzerland for me, where they are, you know, they've got some good depth of talent, and I do think they will go. I think they could get out of their group. I think they are, for me, I think they've got that bit between the teeth when they want to be. But I do think they'll beat Georgia. I'm going to go 2-0 to the Czechs, and we do have one more game, and that is,
do we?
We do, and that is Belgium against Romania.
Well, it's probably a better game to finish on than Czech Republic v Georgia. Who's it? Belgium and Romania? Did you say?
It is, yes.
Well, Romania, they won 3-0 today, but I don't know what the score is for Belgium. They were getting beat 1-0. I don't know what the score is now.
Well, the time recorded at the minute, they're still getting beat. So again, I'll put the score of what it finished.
I think Belgium will win. I know they're getting beat now, and by the time this video goes out, they might have been beaten. But I think Belgium win. When you've got players like De Bruyne and Lukaku, Doku, the players who can change a game. I know Romania won 3-0 today. I've seen a few bits of it. Romania weren't great. Ukraine were just worse. So yeah, I'm gonna say a Belgium win, 1-0.
Wow. I mean, it's such a far cry from the golden generation of Belgium 5-6 years ago.
Yeah.
But I think they are coming towards the end of that now. And you're right. I think they've got some good, you know, Doku, I think is, you know, he's been good this season in the Premier League. And it's, you know, my first kind of proper have a look at Doku. I know he spent a lot of his time in the French league and, you know, it's difficult stepping up. But again, you're right. I think Romania beat a pretty poor Ukraine side, but Belgium, as we know, still a very good side, and people are going to tip him to go far in the tournament. But I don't know. I think in my opinion, I think they'll crash around the 16. I think they'll
exactly what I think. They'll get out of the groups, even if they get beaten now in the first game. I still think they'll get out of the groups. But yeah,
100%.
that's it. I think that's
100%.
their England at the moment.
Yeah. So to finish on, I'm going to say 2-1 to Belgium. So
2-1.
but we'll
Have you
see.
got any other games there? Or
No, we're all good. I was just picking them out like out of a hat, to be fair. No, but great to have your company. We'll keep across how you do as well on the socials as well. So we'll see that, and there'll be a little bit of a table on our socials. So we'll see how everyone's done in the group stages. So all being well, thanks for your company, and hopefully we'll see you. You're very welcome. Hopefully we'll see you in the next later down in the tournament.
And there we go. That is Prediction Wars Match Day 2. Stay tuned on our socials. We're going to keep a tally at the end of the group stage and see how everyone has done. And we'll release it on, so keep your eye on Twitter. We'll have it on there as well. So Match Day 3 is coming very soon. Stay tuned to see who's in the hot chair.